What did your entitled best friend do when she realized she couldn't have her cake and eat it too? 2 years ago, I agreed to be a surrogate for my best friend. She couldn't have kids, and being a mother was her biggest dream. I'd never wanted children myself, but I wanted to help her. So I spent 9 months pregnant, doing all my Harvard pre-med coursework online from home. Then I gave birth. The nurse placed the baby in Vanessa's arms. She looked down at her daughter for maybe 10 seconds. Then she looked at me. I changed my mind. I thought I'd heard her wrong. What? I don't want to be a mom anymore. She handed the baby back to the nurse and walked out of the hospital. Just like that. I sat there holding this newborn baby that wasn't mine, that I'd never planned to raise, staring at the door Vanessa had just left through. 3 days later, I was released from the hospital with a baby I didn't know what to do with. I'd just gotten my acceptance letter to Harvard Medical School. Classes started in 3 months. A baby would destroy everything I'd worked for my entire life. The first 2 weeks were hell. I wasn't sleeping. The baby cried constantly. I had no idea what I was doing. I kept missing emails from Harvard about orientation and housing. I called Vanessa every single day, but she wouldn't answer. Finally, she texted back, "I told you I don't want it." I stared at that message for a long time. I drove to her apartment with the baby in the car seat, knocked on her door. She opened it, saw us standing there, and her face went pale. "Vanessa, please, I can't do this. I can't either. You're her mother. I can't do this." She closed the door in my face. I stood there in the hallway holding the car seat, listening to the baby cry. That night, I texted her, "I'm giving the baby up for adoption then." My phone rang immediately. "You can't do that. Then come get her." Vanessa paused. "You can't just give away my child. This baby is family." I rolled my eyes. "So take her." She went quiet. "Again, I'm not ready to be a mom yet, but you won't take her, but I can't put her up for adoption? What am I supposed to do, Vanessa?" She hung up on me, almost like she was daring me to defy her. So I did. I spent the next little while researching adoption agencies. I found a couple who'd been trying to have a baby for 6 years. They were perfect. Stable jobs, beautiful home, so much love to give. I signed the papers. The baby went to her new family. I cried when they took her, but for the first time in weeks, I could breathe. 3 days later, someone was pounding on my apartment door at 6 in the morning. I opened it. Vanessa shoved past me, looking around frantically. "Where is she? Where's my baby?" "She's with her adoptive family." Vanessa's face went white, then red. "You gave her away?" I looked at her like how I imagine a teacher looks at her first grade student eating a crayon. "Vanessa," I said, "you said you didn't want her." "I didn't want to raise her," Vanessa interrupted, screaming as if it made her point more valid. "You had no right to give her up." My jaw dropped in disbelief. "You literally abandoned her." "I needed time." Vanessa cut me off, getting in my face now. "I just wanted to wait a little, just a few years. Then when my daughter was older, I would have taken her back." "Is that so wrong of me?" She didn't even let me respond, just left, slamming the door so hard my walls shook. 2 days later, I got served with a lawsuit. We sat in family court 3 weeks later. Vanessa's lawyer went first, presented our texts, the surrogacy contract, medical records. The judge looked at Vanessa. "Please explain your position." Vanessa started crying immediately. "Your Honor, I had postpartum depression. I wasn't thinking clearly. I just needed time to be ready to be a mother." My brain was spinning. Was she actually claiming she had postpartum depression? The judge leaned forward. "How much time did you need?" "I don't know. A few months, maybe longer. I was going to take her back once I had the money to raise, once I was mentally ready." My lawyer couldn't stay quiet anymore. He stood up, calm as ever. "Vanessa, so just to clarify, you wanted my client to raise your baby while you decided if you felt like being a mom someday?" Vanessa's face went red. "That's not. You wanted to keep your daughter as an option, something to maybe default back to." He interrupted her. Vanessa's lawyer was holding his head in his hands. "That's not only unfair and cruel to my client, it's also unfair and cruel to the child," my lawyer continued. Vanessa got a manic look in her eye. "She's my baby." She pointed her finger at me. "You were just supposed to carry her. You can't steal her from me." The judge held up his hand. "So you wanted to abandon your parental responsibilities but retain parental control?" Vanessa stammered. That's not. I just needed more time to prepare." The judge looked down at the papers in front of him. "The adoption is legal and binding. Case dismissed." He struck his gavel. Vanessa stood there frozen, staring at me with pure hatred. Then she stormed out without saying a word. I thought it was over until 2 days later the adoptive parents called me. Vanessa had found their address and tried to break in the middle of the night to steal the baby back. She failed. Now she's arrested, facing 5 years in prison. I might show up to her trial with a bag of popcorn.